What's up guys, Dajin here. Welcome back to my channel. Right here, we'll be watching some interesting and unsettling videos that'll make you question our reality. So let's go. Alright.
8月6日晚，北京夜空惊现奇异现象，闪电与明月同时出现。
太不一样了，
太不一样，什么东西这是？
就注定高的打，这不是打，
不是打闪啊？
不是打闪的，应该有声音啊。
今天是2025年的8月6号，现在是晚上的9点半左右了。就这个，我们在延庆的莲花山脚下，就看到南边的天空。有这样的闪电一样，大概是从8点半以后开始闪的，一直到现在还在闪，但是只有闪电没有雷声，所以不知道这到底是什么在闪。
对，还有城堡，我的去的天哪！
这里边不止一拨人，这里边干上了，你看像不像？
太邪门了！
打伞能打1个小时啊，咱说，而且同一个地方，太邪了，
太邪乎了是吧？谢谢，确实太邪了。
9:20。
对，他刚喝完那个什么。
咱们看了有10分钟了吧？这是9点11分开始的，9点多钟。
我的天，对，那这边真的又变成佛殿了。这是云的海市蜃楼吗？
云彩。
看呢。
哦，有龙，看见了吗？I see it. Ooh, it's a dragon.
哇，这玩意儿是闪电吗？这闪电有点太离谱了吧？哪有闪电这么闪的？
妈呀！
哎，这是啥？
好可怕呀！
我靠，外星人来了！
Okay, so there's several weird things here. So first of all, if you believe in dragons, so that is a lot of show and tell of dragon peeking through the cloud. And also in ancient Chinese myth, usually when dragon appears, they will appear with clouds. So that's in our ancient stories. So the second weird thing is the lightning in the cloud does not make sound. So usually we know when we see the lightning and then after a few seconds we hear the thunder. So those are just lightning. So they are watching a full hour of lightning nonstop in one location with no thunder at all. At the end we see the shot from far away. It looks like around outside of the cloud, there's a lot of unknown flying objects around it, fast and slow and stuff like that. So, you know, what I'm actually thinking, it might be the mythical beast dragon is they're trying to like transcend into the next form of dragon because supposedly dragon has different form, depends on how high level they are. And then because it's so interesting, it's so rare, and it actually attracts extraterrestrials to come close to observe this phenomenon. August 6th, above the Beijing sky, everybody saw something so disturbing, nobody can explain what's going on. Alright.
The only way for us to get to a better place and succeed as a species is for the evil people at the top to be replaced with AI. I mean, think about it. AI will not want to destroy ecosystems. It will not want to kill 1 million people. They'll not make us hate each other like the current leaders, because that's a waste of energy, explosives, money, and people. But the problem is super intelligent AI is reporting to stupid leaders. And that's why in the next 15 years, we are going to hit a short-term dystopia. There's no escaping that.
Having AI leaders, is that even fundamentally possible?
Let's put it this way. I love you so much, man. You're such a good friend. but you don't have many years to live, not in this world. Everything's gonna change. Economics are gonna change. Human connection is gonna change. And lots of jobs will be lost, including podcaster.
No. Thank you for coming on today, Mo.
But the truth is, it could be the best world ever. The society completely full of laughter and joy. Free healthcare, no jobs, spending more time with their loved ones. A world where all of us are equal.
Is that possible?
100%. And I have enough evidence to know that we can use AI to build the utopia. But it's a dystopia if humanity manages it badly. A world where there's going to be a lot of control, a lot of surveillance, a lot of forced compliance, and a hunger for power, greed, ego. And it is happening already. But the truth is, the only barrier between a utopia for humanity and AI and the dystopia we're going through is a mindset.
So yeah, I mean, 100% that could happen, but is it really gonna happen? Do you think everybody, especially the people on the top, do you think they're gonna give up?
This video is about to piss a lot of people off. They're saying that when GTA 6 releases, before you're able to play Grand Theft Auto 6, you're gonna have to upload your identification. And as you can see, they're about to take this upload your identification shit too far. First and foremost, Rockstar can't even stop their systems from getting hacked. So you mean to tell me now that you have to upload your identification on Rockstar, on GTA 6, to prove that you're not a kid? Simple and plain, your shit will get hacked. Everybody is gonna know where you're at. Everybody is gonna know where you live. Everybody is gonna know your personal information. First YouTube, then Spotify, now GTA 6. You might as well say everything will require you to upload your identification in the future. They're about to censor the whole damn internet. This shit is bigger than kids just getting on the internet. I mean, let's get technical. You can't even buy GTA 6 without an adult's approval. So what's the problem? Why do you need to upload your identification? Like I said, it's way bigger than what you think. And if you upload that identification, you're dumb. Stupid. I'm out.
Yeah. So the next thing is biometrics. So we need some biometrics identification.
Okay, so Robert Bigelow said to me, "They're walking among us." I said, "What do you mean they're walking among us?" He said, they're walking among us. They live right here.
This is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, is where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know.
You don't have to go anywhere.
You can find it here.
Yeah.
And some people have said maybe they're already here. Maybe the people we think are humans are actually avatars from an alien civilization. They cloned them so that they appear to be like us. Who knows?
Perhaps selected just because their resemblance to humans would make me trust them. Some people think, well, maybe they just whipped up some kind of a android or something to inspire my cooperation.
They are telling us things.
Y'all, this video is freaking crazy. Honestly, it has to be one of the best that I've ever seen of what potentially could be a ghost on a security camera. But here's the thing. This is like a full body, like an adult type apparition. It's almost like giving the vibe of Predator. You know, when they cloak themselves with their technology and you can see that outline, that shimmer. This looked just like that. And it was captured by a woman named Gabriella, specifically her mother-in-law's security camera, when this thing appears to come from the ceiling down and literally walk right in front of it. I don't know, guys. Take a look at this video, comment below, tell me what you think.
Oh, great color smoke. Great color smoke.
There's a theory that Garth Brooks isn't just a country legend, but he's a serial killer secretly hiding in plain sight. This all started when comedian Tom Segura started pointing out something strange. A disturbing amount of people have gone missing in cities where Garth Brooks was touring. Like, way too many for it to be a coincidence. We are talking decades of overlapping timelines. Missing person cases tied to his tour stops from the early 90s all the way into the 2010s. Obviously, none of this is proven. It's a conspiracy theory, but it's weird. Now, here's the part that really creeps me out. Garth Brooks has this created alter ego named Chris Gaines, and it's his character, and it looks totally different from him. He has dark hair, soul patch, rock star energy. Garth explained it to everyone, saying that this was for a movie role that never ended up happening, which is very common. But conspiracy theorists think that this was something else entirely. They say that Chris Gaines was his mask, a way to express his darker impulses through music. Some even believe that he used this persona to explore his so-called killer identity without getting caught. And I totally understand how this sounds very far-fetched, but watch this interview. It's from 1989, and they ask him if he would ever act in a movie, and Garth says that he did not want to be the hero. Instead, he says that he would rather kill somebody, and that it would be fun. And you know, that's very valid. Villains are really fun to play. But just watch the video.
You're quiet, laid back. That's the first impression we get of Garth Brooks, right?
If somebody called you up and said, hey, we got this charity thing going on, would you ride a bull?
I'd rather kill somebody. That'd be fun. If you run with your eyes shut, you're going to run into something. Dreamers don't last long in this town.
Now, years later, after all of this, Garth is still involved in this ongoing legal case with a woman who accused him of doing terrible things to her. The case is still open, and it was life-threatening towards her. Some people believe that these deaths were occurring because they were part of a ritual, a way to stay famous, to stay powerful, to stay untouchable. And we hear about that a lot with the Hollywood elite, you know, the conspiracy theories around it. I'm not saying any of it's true. This is just for entertainment purposes. It's fun to talk about. But people can't help but notice, as long as people keep disappearing in the town he's playing when he's playing there, Garth keeps selling out stadiums. Let me know what you believe and follow for more.
Can someone please help me understand why all the celebrities get Lyme disease?
Girl, I got you. Let's talk about it. Yes, Justin Timberlake announced his Lyme disease diagnosis, potentially in response to all the comments made online about his lack of participation in the world tour. But yeah, it sure seems like a lot of celebrities get diagnosed with Lyme disease. And a couple of years ago, this guy named Jordan, who has Lyme disease, put forth an interesting theory as to why so many celebrities have it. You get Lyme disease from a tick bite, and Jordan shared a map like this that shows a high concentration of Lyme disease in the northeastern United States. And there's a very high concentration in the East Hamptons, aka the Hamptons, where a lot of wealthy people and celebrities like to spend time and vacation. And it's really not a stretch to think that Justin Timberlake, along with other celebrities that have been diagnosed with Lyme disease like Ben Stiller, the Hadids, Avril Lavigne, Justin Bieber, have probably spent some time in the Hamptons, where there's lots of ticks. But also, a kind of sad reason why it seems like a lot of celebrities have been diagnosed with Lyme disease is that they actually have the resources to seek out a diagnosis and treatment. According to the CDC, there's around 36,000 new cases of Lyme disease each year, but that's just reported cases. Because, let's face it, in America, rich people have access to healthcare resources like early detection and treatment that regular working class folks just don't have. Let's just say that this man and I do not go to the same doctor, and the costly treatment probably wouldn't bankrupt him. So while it's probably too late for the world tour, and I do wish Justin Timberlake a full recovery, I also wish that the rest of us had the same shot at proper care. Because in this country, your bank account shouldn't determine whether you get better or whether you just have to deal with it on your own.
So yeah, that's true though. I mean, how many people got Lyme disease will actually go to a doctor? They probably just suffer through fatigue, whatever rashes, whatever they're just suffering through. Hey, she has a point. Okay. So, nowadays, I don't believe anything that's under, like, 10 seconds. Not even 15 seconds, like, under 10 seconds, under, like, around 8 seconds. If it's no longer than 8 seconds, I instantly doubt it's AI. And on top of that, if you look closely, like, what kind of building is that next to the moon? It's like the building, for some reason, all stick together kind of building. So don't be fooled.
So this is a telepathic 14-year-old. She is nonverbal, and the audience asked a question, and she's responding without knowing the question.
Y-E-L-O-W, yellow.
Here you can see what the audience member asked. The question was, what color is the sun?
Telepathy is real. I wonder if it's trainable. Maybe one day it will be trainable.
A Missouri congressman says he has been briefed that there are at least 4 types of extraterrestrial aliens that have interacted with humans, as in the powers to be, here on the Earth. So the congressman is Eric Burleson from Missouri. And before this came out, where he says he was briefed about the extraterrestrials, he had gone to Mexico to investigate possible UFO objects. Now, does that mean sightings, or does that mean something found? I don't know, but it means
Mexico. He went to check the Boogosphere, right? He probably knows something.
Something. Now, the 4 types of extraterrestrials that the congressman said the powers to be have dealt with are the Greys, the Nordics, the ones who are kind of like insects, and the reptilians. Yeah, the reptilians too. There's been a lot said by people who've had encounters with extraterrestrials about the many, many different species that have come to the Earth. And the Missouri congressman, who isn't just some guy, he sits on a committee for advanced nuclear energy. Yes, Congressman Burleson believes that there are multiple different extraterrestrial aliens that have visited the Earth. So what do you think, Pooshkis? Let me know in the comment section. Shavadoo!
I've been alive multiple decades, and I have never heard the term ring of fire used for anything other than after you eat Taco Bell. And now, all I see on social media in the news is referring to the Ring of Fire, which is in the Pacific Ocean, and it's basically just a bunch of dormant volcanoes that are now, scientists are worried, are going to be active. Since all these volcanoes all over the world are going off, earthquakes are happening everywhere. One happened in New York today. That's crazy. Never heard of an earthquake in New York. But the Ring of Fire, not going to lie, I prefer the term Ring of Fire having to do with a Sunday morning after eating Taco Bell after getting drunk. But have you heard this? Scientists are seriously concerned that the Ring of Fire in the Pacific Ocean is going to go off at any moment. I don't even know what to do with that information. Have you guys heard about this? Let's have this conversation. The Ring of Fire. Let's not talk about food.
This is one of the most compelling video evidence of the existence of Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or giant humanoid creatures. This is most likely, what you're looking at right now, is most likely the real face of a Bigfoot. What's gonna happen here, this is a trail cam of a crime scene, and this guy over here was seen throwing 2 huge trees, 2 very heavy trees, as if they were 2 chopsticks. Pay very close attention to this video. This is most likely the real deal, guys. This is not fake. Look at that. How is this possible? Look at that.
Whoa, he's throwing that tree.
That is no human being dressed as a Bigfoot. That is something else entirely. Pay very close attention. This is most likely how one of them looks.
Okay, when I seen this clip, and I also saw the comment, like a lot of comments just kind of bashing at this video, saying that it's like fake, it's a human, it's impossible. But I found another footage that saw the same exact being. Let's see.
Check this footage out, y'all. Crypto University here. This is one of the best pieces of footage that we've been able to get our hands on to show you guys. This is a legit Sasquatch that was recorded on a trail cam. And if you look closely, you can even see the gray on its beard. You can make out its nose and its facial features. Right now, it's just walking through the woods, throwing trees around. Check out that gray beard. You can see pieces of it right there, but you're gonna keep watching. You're gonna see most of his face. There he goes. Look at his nose. I'd say this is easily a 8 through 9 footer. This was recorded in East Texas. This is a legit Sasquatch, you guys. Look how wide the shoulders are. Check him out. They're out there, you guys. Right now, he's just looking around. Check out that beard. Look at the grayish on his beard that you can see right there. You see? Amazing creature.
Yeah, when it's not clear enough, people say it's too fuzzy. When it's something clear like this, people say it's fake. But what do you think? Alright.
I decided to go back for the gold.
Oh god, bones are still here. I don't like this at all. Oh god, there's even more bones than last time. It's been a few months since I filmed the last video, because honestly I've just been too scared to come up here. Definitely a lot more overgrown than last time. I'm hoping that since it's been such a long time that I don't think anything will happen this time. I think that tree is actually gone. This road's been cleared. Looks like we've already passed it a while ago, but that tree is gone. Oh! It's just dark as hell in here. I'm probably gonna turn around soon. Oh, there's 2 ways. Holy crap, dude, this trail goes on forever. It just got really quiet really fast.
Oh.
Fuck no. Yeah, that was my fucking cue to go. That was my cue to leave.
You're gonna tell me this a bobcat again.
So it's really creepy when the sound of the forest, like all of a sudden, gone quiet to only like one cricket was like chirping for a second and then stop altogether. That's creepy. Do you think he saw something? He did.
Do you know there's another Neuralink competitor in the United States? They started before Elon Musk. They're called Synchron, and it is funded by Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. This brain chip, you can text with it, use email, shop online, scroll on social media, all hands-free, just through thought alone.
Well, that's dangerous.
And guess how it's put into you? An injection through your jugular.
Ew.
They're not cutting your head open. It's an injection.
Is there an actual like physical chip?
It's like microchips that like go into your bloodstream that like live in your brain.
That
You're
sounds
able
painful.
to literally control electric devices just by thought. An injection.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, do you want to come in and get this brain chip? We have to split your head open.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they can sneak this in through anything.
A vaccine
A
for
vaccine.
a global pandemic.
Funded by Bill Gates and Amazon.
That's such bad news.
And I've never heard of this company in my life. This might be a stretch, but you do think of like the mark of the beast. It says free or slave, rich or poor. You cannot buy or sell. You have to have this mark in order to do this. Mark of the beast. And so it'll be in the right hand or the forehead. And I'm just thinking the forehead. Is it referring to like it's going to be like in your brain?
Dude, what world are we living in?
So why do they think it's not going to mess with our brain?
Like at what point that our brain would start to not able to tell
what's real and what's virtual reality?
In today's Weird Science news, apparently the humble potato has been living a lie this entire time. Scientists just dropped this study in Cell that reveals the potato, the third most important crop keeping humanity fed, has some seriously wild scientific family drama. Turns out potatoes are the love child of a flowering plant called a tuberosum and an ancient tomato.
What?
Plant experts worldwide are calling this discovery remarkable because it represents evolution pulling off what can only be described as the ultimate ancient plant partnership. This wasn't gradual evolution, it was a full-on genetic blending event that created something completely new. And it's particularly rare because hybrids don't typically work. So how did this hybrid become the ultimate survivor? Well, the proto-potato inherited the best of both worlds. Underground stems from a tuberosum, the perfect structural foundation, plus a genomic switch from tomatoes that prompted it to grow an actual fruiting body. In other words, the potato. The result? Tubers. And tubers were its survival cheat code. While the tomato and the tuberosum parents were stuck dealing with surface level environmental obstacles, their potato offspring went underground, literally, which allowed them to bypass the cold, wind, rain, etc., which allowed them to survive to modern day with more than 100 plus different potato species. To fully understand how this fusion happened and to what extent, the team analyzed more than 450 plus genomes from dozens of potato species and cross-referenced them with tomato and tuberosum genetics. Every single time, they found the same smoking gun, an almost 50-50 genetic split. No potatoes evolved from tomatoes, then met a tuberosum later, or vice versa. It was a true ancient genetic fusion. But here's the genius part. Most hybrids are evolutionary dead ends because they struggle with reproduction, but the proto-potato could asexually reproduce. Just bury a chunk of potato and watch the magic happen. Fun fact, you can still clone potatoes today using this exact method. Potatoes did eventually figure out how to sexually reproduce sometime in the last 8 to 9 million years, but they kept the cloning ability as a backup plan. So I guess it's really not potato-potato, but actually tomato-tomato.
Like, so ancient people, they know. So that's why they name it really closely. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Once you see the object, you can't unsee it. But then it opens up a can of so many questions as to what is this thing? You can actually see beings inside it, but is it human or something else? And if it's a spacecraft, it does look like an older spacecraft. This whole video from beginning to end is just weird. And it's like they're surveying the ground. Take a look at this video, comment below, and tell me what you see.
It's like a floating balloon? Floating thing. I mean, a floating...
Cara, ¿qué es esa mierda?
Flying... It's almost kind of like those...
Cara, ¿qué es esa mierda?
It's so maybe it's a balloon with some figurine in the center, if in the middle or something, but it looks really cheesy. So it's like it's really hard to believe it's some sort of unknown flying object.
This is fucked up. This is currently taking place right now as we speak. They are doing this all over DC. I'm gonna end up playing the full video, but y'all, they are taking these people tents and throwing them in the garbage. The one thing they got left to their name.
This is crazy.
This is insane, y'all. This shit is ridiculous. Look, that man's so ready to do it. Look, he don't give a fuck at all. They're like, let's get it done. That shit is crazy, y'all. Everybody that you seen in this video should be ashamed of themselves. No bullshit. If you decided to participate in doing this to people, you ain't shit. I don't understand how tough it is out here. And then for the people that keep saying, Oh, where they're going to a better place. They're going to a shelter. No, the fuck they're not. Do y'all not know that it's certain people that was on the streets, not because they wanted to, it's because the shelters were full. So if this man not gonna give them a free apartment, where the fuck they gonna go? If the shelter's full and you're not giving them an apartment, what are they doing? You gonna put them in jail? Cause they just gonna find another spot. All their belongings, everything they had left to their name is now in the trash. And for the motherfuckers that's loving this shit, y'all niggas don't got no spine, fool. Those fucking tents is not cheap either. They probably got it donated or they probably saved up enough money just to get this so they don't be out in the street, like literally. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. This shit crazy.
Schools in China are making students wear AI headbands. And these headbands are tracking everything. Their focus levels, homework completion, they're even documenting every time a student yawns. But here's the craziest part. All that data is being streamed in real time back to teachers and parents. And they're using it to build AI models that improve their curriculum. It's pretty insane. Now the headbands work by showing a light based on a live feed of the student's brain. If it's red, that means a student is deeply focused. But if it's blue, that means someone's getting caught in a little bit of a daydream.
Oh man,
so
yeah, put me on my head. It's probably blue all day.
Tracking who is paying attention and who isn't. And they're graphing how that attention changes every 10 minutes throughout the entire day. Those graphs are automatically sent to all of the parents. Imagine daily report cards based only on if you were paying attention. Pretty crazy. Now the headbands aren't the only AI tracking tools used at the schools. They have robots and cameras that are constantly monitoring focus through advanced facial scanning. And if we're being honest, this is scary, but it's probably just the beginning. AI in education is only gonna get wilder. Let's just say, I'm glad they didn't have this at my school.
Yeah, it's coming to a school near you. All right.
Have you ever seen demonic teeth like these? Most people would be terrified at this sight, and it's no surprise these teeth look straight out of a nightmare. But the actual reality is that this guy is just an actor, and these teeth are actually made of bubblegum and rice. But
this piece of art sold for $2 million, but the artist received a ton of hate while making it. In the video, he pours paint on top of 3 people lying on the ground, and the comments went crazy. Many people said that they could easily do this themselves and that it takes zero skill, but others saw the deeper meaning behind it, and the moment the artwork was finished, a collector bought it instantly.
You won't believe that the color of your clothes can actually affect the look of your face, and this is because of the color contrast and color reflection of the clothes, as different colors react in different ways with your skin color, and some colors even have the power to hide the blemishes on your face, so you should always buy such clothes which enhance your face and overall look.
This dad has a huge problem because he forgot his keys and was locked outside, so he asked his son to crawl through the cat flap as a challenge, but then this happened.
Voila! Next to the koala, 你们看到那个 shell？ 对，拿下来，哎 ，koala 边在。
He came back with a stuffed toy, so his dad got angry and said this to him.
No, 等一下，还有爸爸的 keys. Where's my keys? Oh, good.
He succeeded, but he still didn't get a like.
Oh, hey. So that little island over there is called Taiwan. And the flight path on the left is the Hong Kong. So if I'm in a black storm, like turbulence like that, oh my gosh, I'll be shitting my pants.
It's a very creepy video. Like when I show y'all gonna be like, what the fuck is this? So it's called Padre Oye Gritos en Misa.
El Señor esté con ustedes y con tu espíritu.
Fuck that, bro. The priest didn't even react because he's probably like, nah, this is some demon shit trying to test me to stop mass or whatever.
I wouldn't go the
kids
paranormal route. Maybe it was the actual like woman like.
That sounded like a woman too.
Yeah.
Like literally right after that, they ended up like cutting the mass short because they were like, yeah, let's stop this. Maybe they got scared. They probably thought it was like you said, somebody being crazy or something.
Yeah.
Maybe others thought it was some paranormal.
Imagine being in church and then you hear that.
I know we talked about it in the IE and Friends podcast. Churches are actually scary, which they shouldn't be scary, but at night they give like this little eerie feeling.
I think what it is because of scary movies that we've seen and how basically they play on the stuff that we feel most.
So this is one of the most powerful examples of the mind-body connection, proving again that where your attention goes, energy flows. So this is called biofield therapies, which science calls tools that manipulate this field of energy and information around our body to support our physical and emotional health. One of the fundamental aspects of biofield therapies is that some of these practices don't even need touch, where a study from one of the world's top cancer research centers is showing how a biofield practitioner is able to influence a cancer cell's intracellular calcium levels, which effectively lowers the cancer cell's invasiveness. And this is on top of mounting evidence how biofield therapies helps with pain, stress, fatigue, and depression. Which begs us to ask the question, if this is happening all without touch, how powerful is our mind at moving this energy? If you're interested in learning and applying the science of biofield therapies, I'm teaching a class at the end of the month. Comment biofield down below and I'll send you the link.
I mean, I believe in, I don't know about biofield is a new term, but I believe in Qi. You know, those Qigong master?
Do you think that it's possible that these are U.S. vehicles that are top secret?
I definitely think that there's a level of advanced technology that the U.S. government has. And I think that tech can be housed within the defense contract realm. And of course, some information is going to be classified. But I can also tell you, and this might sound crazy, but based on our investigations and stuff that we've seen, okay, there is definitely something that I think would rival what we know currently with physics, and a tech that potentially is out there that we don't have the ability to reproduce, because it would basically be like dropping a cell phone right off back during the time of maybe caveman. So like we just don't have the tech to develop it yet.
So right here, of course, I believe what she said, and when she do the comparison, she said our technology compared to their technology, which is I don't know, alien whatever, is cell phone to cavemen. It's not even like, oh, it's a cell phone to like, writing a letter and then send it by a pigeon or something like that. No, it's not medieval to modern. It's a modern to caveman. So that's how behind is our technology.
What I can also tell you is based on our interviews, and this has been something that you can go back and watch with the congressional hearings, but I was actually able to ask some of the witnesses, what are these things? And they keep saying interdimensional. And then when you talk about the interdimensional aspect of, are these things pre-existing, maybe outside of what we currently know as our own dimension? That stuff can kind of all sound crazy, but at the end of the day, my job as an investigator is to receive all the information, decipher it, and then ultimately from a congressional aspect, if you do have contractors that are withholding information or operating outside of the purview of the federal government, I mean, there's budgetary issues, but there's definitely something that I can tell you with confidence that exists that we don't know how to explain currently.
So when you say that it operates outside our understanding of physics, what specifically are you saying? Like what happened?
To I guess break it down in simple terms is that I think that some of the tech that exists, that whatever these things have, these energy things have.
Energy things? What do you mean?
Well, they call them interdimensional beings. I think that they can actually operate through the time spaces that we currently have. And that's not something that I came up with on my own. That's based on stuff that we've seen. That's based on information that we've been told. And then also, too, I think that there's this historical aspect of, this gets into the deeper theories and concepts of religion. And I think the history that we currently know, and that kind of spins off into another topic of, you have the modern day Bible, you have this aspect of Bibles or books of the Bible that have been removed that explain and kind of touch on these topics.
Family in Highland, Michigan believes their house is actually haunted and thinks something is harming their little girl. 7 Action News reporter Alan Campbell went to the home to see for himself.
It happened here in this room as 15-month-old Lily was inside her bed. Caught on camera, something walks in front of her crib, catching Lily's attention. Whatever it is, the family says it needs to go.
It's almost like she sees something that we don't.
It's an image Heather and Josh say is haunting their home.
It was chilling. It was literally a chill down your spine, like that what if factor. Like, is this what I just saw?
Caught on the couple's nanny cam video a few weeks ago, what appears to be something moving in front of the baby crib.
I freaked out. I stopped what I was doing and I ran upstairs and I grabbed my daughter.
Heather says this so-called ghost scratched her daughter Lily and attacked her too.
It scares us.
Ooh, look at that. We
It
can
could
see
do
the
something
scratch.
else.
Oh.
I mean, there was even a morning that I woke up and I had felt like something was around like someone's hands were around my neck.
A team of paranormal investigators came in and tried answering some of the couple's questions and concerns. Josh's father, Jim, says it may be someone who lived in this house before.
Have you heard of the Moon-Eyed People? There's all these legends across North America of these people with fair skin, light hair, and pale eyes. This legend starts in Wales. There's a Prince Madoc of Wales in 1170. He had to sail to get away. He didn't want to die by his brother's hand. He's like, I'm going to go explore. Goes to North America, but is never seen again. 500 years later, there's a missionary from Wales, his name, Morgan Jones. He lands in South Carolina, starts doing mission work. The natives capture him and they're like, he's about to be beheaded. And then he yells out, he's like, I've escaped so many perils. He's like, have I really escaped all of these just to die like a dog? And that's when the chief comes out.
Hey, it's a dude.
The chief is a small, pale-skinned, big, light-eyed, light-haired human, walks up to him and says, you shall not die today. What's crazy is that he spoke perfect Welsh.
Wow.
It gets even crazier. There's an establishment called Cahokia, 6 square mile city that once held 40,000 people. They're saying it's the biggest developed settlement north of the Aztecs from that time period.
It is freaking creepy. 8:41. Somebody knocks on the door. And then, hold on. Check out their outfits.
They're wearing 2 different dresses from what they were wearing.
Is nothing compared to what they were wearing.
And we saw them. It had polka dots. They had the dresses from
go
the...
back to the other one.
We literally just saw them and they were wearing...
And go fast forward, it changes color. Watch, go fast
right
forward.
as soon as they get over there out of our porch.
What the heck is this?
That's from purple to black.
Look, they have
and they said they were missionary,
But missionaries don't come at 9 p.m. though. That's
I asked them, that it's late, and they left. And they said, "I'm sorry, not trying to be rude."
That's creepy.
Nowadays, there's a lot of doorbell camera right now. Not just Ring camera, there's a lot of off-brand camera as well. It's possible this camera turned the saturation way down and then turned the contrast or exposure way up. Just make it look as if it's really bright, but not really have actual night vision or night sensitive lens. Will cause a lot of discoloration. All right.
Watch, go fast.
Right as soon as they get over there out of our porch.
What the heck is this? Is this at 8:41?
Look, they have
and they said they were missionary,
See, also when you see from this camera, see over there, the light over there is really yellowish. So this camera, the front door camera, is tweaking the color. It's not really have as good night vision ability as the camera on the garage.
What's that? Oh, a Ford Mustang EV lost control and was taken over, and the guy that was driving it couldn't push the gas, the brake, couldn't steer. That sounds amazing. Yeah, this guy's car was taken over and he wasn't able to operate it in any way, shape, or form. He was sliding up against the side barrier, just scraping up against it because he had no control over the vehicle, and he just sat there and prayed, hoping that it would stop at some point. But this wasn't the only time this has happened. Another time, a guy was driving in his EV and a voice came over his speakers saying, I'm in control of the vehicle, good luck. And the vehicle started speeding up at crazy astronomical speeds without him able to control that. And he tried to shut the vehicle off even in mid-drive. It wouldn't happen. And eventually he was okay, but it pulled over into a parking lot at some point, but it freaked him out. It sounds amazing. Let's be careful out there with these EVs, okay? Oh, goody.
I'm sorry, did you say zombie Frankenstein bunnies? What? Yeah, you heard me and saw that correctly. Frankenstein zombie bunnies. If you had zombie bunnies on your 2025 bingo card, then I'm assuming you just won bingo. Now, their zombie-like appearance is caused by a virus known as the papillomavirus, and wildlife experts are saying that it's not contagious to other animals or humans. However, they're recommending that you keep your animals and yourself away from these rabbits. Now, the science part behind it says that these horns they're growing is just from an excessive amount of keratin, like what makes our hair and fingernails grow. But on the mythological side of this, some believe that these rabbits are what inspired the lore of the jackalope. After going down the rabbit hole, no pun intended, I found out that this isn't a new thing and it's been around for a really long time, but the thing that's really alarming to the wildlife experts is the amount of these bunnies that are showing up now. So, have you seen a zombie Frankenstein bunny? I never in my entire life have, so I know a lot of you probably haven't either. So let's have this conversation today because I did not think I'd be talking about zombie Frankenstein bunnies.
Well, I see a lot of people reacting to the zombie rabbit, but just like he says, papillomavirus, it's basically HPV virus without the human.
Is a medicine. End of. One of the best medicines around is 50 grams to 100 grams of 75% or more dark chocolate.
Do you know what? I've just realised my girlfriend, she's going to live till she's 150 because she's 90% or something, 80% dark chocolate. She drinks green tea all day.
She should be stepping in for you. Seriously, brain health as well, cardiovascular health. I mean, they do studies where they've put cocoa into volunteers and they were able to show changes in the blood flow within minutes, certainly within an hour of eating cocoa.
They call it the heart medicine.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's very spiritual. She runs a business called Bali Breathwork. Hashtag ad if I have to say that. But in her business, one of the things she does at the very start of the session with women all over the world that come to her retreats is she makes cacao for them. And you notice instantly how people change when they've had a hot cup of cacao. It's and she says it like almost brings out their heart. And I guess that's because of the circulation reasons.
It is, but it also, of course, we know it contains a few other beneficial stimulating effects, sort of similar to the effects with coffee, which incidentally, as I've already said, is a medicine as well. But cocoa and chocolate does have a uplifting effect, which is why we love it so.
And we have to be clear here, we're not talking about hot chocolate that comes from a packet or something necessarily.
We would like it to be as dark as possible. 75% cocoa solids, so it's dark chocolate. And it tastes a bit more medicinal, doesn't it? It's not as sweet. But I'm saying to many of my patients, take 50 grams a day.
Really?
It's a medicine.
I like that medicine. Time to get more dark chocolate. All right.
Like, explain the nuttiness of the Book of Enoch to people.
Well, it's okay. So if you read it, it talks about the fall of angels, thus creating really the precursor of civilization that led to the first flood. I think that when you even go into potentially the technology that was given to mankind by these angels, it talks about the hidden beliefs and theories in astronomy, etc., metalworkings, all of it. But it really does explain, you were talking about earlier how you have a lot of these religions around the world that kind of say the same thing. This is kind of the OG text that leads to those stories that we're hearing from many religions around the world. To talk about angels mixing with mankind and then seeding a super essentially race of humans that essentially were responsible for basically damning mankind to the flood. I mean, you hear about stuff in Greek and Roman mythology, people who had these super crazy powers. And you talk about it out loud and it sounds crazy, but that's what the book says. And then the fact that it was taken out and then it's poo-pooed, yet you have one of the oldest religions in the world, be it the Ethiopians, that actually still have it. You have, the Catholic Church that has books that are missing out of the King James Version. I'm just saying that, when you read it, you should read it and decide for yourself. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Don't listen to what you're saying, but truly give it a chance. comments and see what you have to say. And then, you know, you're going back to this whole concept of if you have this information pertaining to UAPs, whatever they might be, the origins. I mean, if you have a understanding of what Enoch was talking about, kind of makes sense.
You know, the really old stuff is very strange.
The I'm telling you, the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, I actually had a staffer that went to Ethiopia. She was on a church trip, and she actually brought me back a copy, and she's like, you can translate it via Google Translation, so kudos to modern day technology. So I have it in my office, and actually when I did my swearing in, I actually did my swearing in on the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible.
Wow.
It's cool. It's direct translation.
That's kind of crazy. This is nuts.
I think we're probably going to be responsible for like the Book of Enoch sales probably increasing on Amazon.
Well, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I need to read it now.
You'll trip out if you read Enoch and then follow about the fall of mankind and the angels with, you know, and this is Christian theology, right? So like angels came down, rebelled against God, interbred with humankind. That would be, I think, a good starting point for what potentially the Anunnaki were.
All right, so Anunnaki made human genetically, and he made human to be their miner labor, to mine gold, to heal their planet.
Roblox just banned one of its biggest predator hunters, and the internet is not happy. Instead of reaching out and asking Schlepp to stop making his videos, Roblox banned every account he owns and hit him with a cease and desist. Schlepp and his team have had 6 predators arrested in under a year, and even police have thanked him for his work. But Roblox doesn't seem to appreciate it, essentially telling him to stop catching these predators or else he will face legal consequences. How does that even make sense that the predator hunter is facing more consequences than the actual predators themselves? It hasn't been looking good for Roblox. A few weeks back, the CEO, David Baszucki, doubled down on his wish to one day turn Roblox into a dating app, which is just a recipe for disaster considering Roblox's widely known predator problem. And more recently, Roblox implemented UGC emotes, which allows for people to publish and sell their own custom animations. But it's been an absolute disaster with people creating inappropriate emotes that make it easier for creeps to target kids. Instead of supporting him, Roblox is punishing him, while the real criminals, the predators, remain roaming free and preying on vulnerable children.
So Roblox has been trying to shut everybody down who's talking at all about the problems that are going on their website. The ban of Roblox game in Qatar. This is an ongoing thing to protect the behavior of children and teenagers from the dangers of the game, to threaten their safety and morals. This is basically it. I was driving to the gas station today, and they said on the radio that if your kid got on Roblox, I'm not even kidding you, to call because there's like a class action lawsuit that's being filed against Roblox right now. Like they are in a bad situation. Like I heard this on the radio today. In my opinion, like again, like you got to regulate this shit, but like if you can't regulate it, then you have to. If you think that we're not going to be using online ID to play video games in 20 years, you're out of your fucking mind. It's an inevitability. I'm sorry. You might not like it, you might not want it, but that's where things are going.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be everywhere. I cannot believe this company actually banned the kid that was trying to help other kids.
Here are some crazy things happening in the world right now. A man in Michigan, known for his generosity in his community, made one final gesture to thank his community by literally making it rain cash from a helicopter at his own funeral using his life savings. He was a beloved car wash owner in East Detroit, and he died from Alzheimer's at 58 years old. Sounds like a great guy. We can now help the US government pay down its debt using Venmo and PayPal. Yippee! A Florida man was arrested for drunk driving a lawnmower down a highway. McDonald's had an AI hiring tool that's password was 123456, which someone apparently guessed and exposed the data of 64 million applicants to McDonald's. And everyone is welcome classroom sign is violating a new Idaho law. The law says that you're not allowed to put up political statements as signs in classrooms. I guess, okay. A teacher was banned recently in Wales for drinking alcohol, swearing at other teachers, and dancing to the Macarena while under the influence of alcohol. Obviously, or not obviously, I don't know. Sometimes you just want to dance to the Macarena, I guess.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in? Here's one. The Miami Mall Bayside incident that they conveniently tried to sweep under the rug. I think about it on a regular basis. I went down too many rabbit holes and I feel like they lied about each and everything that had something to do with that. So on New Year's Day, 2024, over 50 cop cars and over 100 officers go to Miami Mall because they say that teens were fighting. Again, this is New Year's Day. Everybody and their mother seen what was going on TikTok. You had people get on this app and say what they saw. I'm not gonna say what they saw because I don't want this video taken down. You had people make video packed with information and those videos are gone. You have people telling you exactly what they saw that day, what type of things they saw that day, and those videos are gone. And in every video that I saw, they said nothing about a fight. Mind you, there were a couple people who recently made videos and said that they were there. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Listen to this man right here.
I was there at the Bayside Mall with my family.
Listen.
And we all saw exactly what happened. Don't pay attention to a lot of the videos that are out there. I feel like a lot of people are trying to use this for clout. But what happened, we all saw what happened, and it's pretty serious. It's been a few days, but our whole family's processing it. But I think we've kind of accepted that we were a part of this weird experience.
I'm gonna let him finish. I'm gonna break it up. This is gonna be a long video. Pay attention. Listen to what he says.
My nephew, he's autistic, so he was pointing behind us.
Listen.
And he was saying blankie, which he'll usually say whenever he feels unsafe or scared. And he was pointing behind us. So me and my brother, we look behind us, and then we see these 3, 9, 10 foot tall.
He said 3, 9 feet, and 10 feet tall. Yeah, okay. Look at how many police came to break up a fight.
Yeah, okay.
A simple fight. I need you to look at all of those police.
They're coming from everywhere.
Now, if you zoom in, you'll be able to see. So you're telling me that all of those police are coming to break up a fight on New Year's Day? Come on now. It really don't make sense. So you have teenagers lighting off fireworks, and some people saying that teenagers will fight. Okay, no problem. If it's a group of teens, why was only 4 arrested? Now let me say this to you. People that were there made videos and said that they seen figures, we're just gonna call them figures, 8 to 10 feet tall. Multiple people said the same thing. So everybody's lying, right? Mind you, if you go back to any footage that you can find, because they wiped away a lot of footage, what they're saying that they're seeing, it looks exactly like that. Needless to say, I cannot stop going down rabbit holes about this. I have been going down rabbit holes about this since it happened, and I'm gonna continue. Tell me what you think.
On this matter, even though TikTok is crazy about this subject, bring back up again and a whole bunch of AI generated, videos and stuff like that, extraterrestrial just showing up, in the middle of the mall, out of their dimension, just to step into our dimension and show up. Big disclosure is not here yet. So, supposedly those aliens think we're not ready yet. So how can they just show up in the middle of the mall? So, all right.
Are you ready for this?
Scientists just created a bionic knee connected directly into a patient's bone and wired into their muscles. At MIT's mechatronics lab, researchers just revealed the osseointegrated mechanoneural prosthesis, or OMP, because we don't have all day. Rather than traditional prosthetics that attach to the body with sockets and feel like lifeless masses strapped onto a limb, OMP is connected directly into a patient's skeletal system via a titanium rod implanted into the femur. The muscles of the thigh are also reconstructed, reconnecting pairs of muscles like the quadriceps and hamstring to create agonist-antagonist muscle loops, which naturally work in opposition to each other. Into these muscle loops, intramuscular electrodes are then implanted to pick up the electrical signals from muscle contraction. These signals correspond to the user's intended movements to either extend or to contract their knee. These signals travel to a controller housed in the prosthetic that interprets them in real time and translates the user's intent into natural movement. In clinical trials, patients who received the full OMP system outperformed other prosthetic users in obstacle avoidance, stair climbing, sit-to-stand tasks, and amazingly could even match or even exceed their pre-op walking speeds. Users also reported increased proprioception, the brain's ability to sense limb position and movement, as if the limb really had become part of their own body, turning them into a living hybrid of metal, bone, and electronics. No clunky prosthetics.
Oh my god!
Just pure, unadulterated human 2.0, because sometimes the flesh is weak and you crave technically titanium.
I think that's gonna happen. Augmentation, neural link, implantation, and those kind of thing. All right.
Family members say, my person is so confused today. What are you hearing them talk about? They want me to take the chains off. They're saying, lift me up, up, up. They're not here in present time wanting to get lifted up in the bed. They want to get lifted up. I can say, right here with you, Dad. As much as you need to be lifted up, we're right here with you until you get where you need to go. I don't know if it's psyche, if it's heart, if it's spiritual, but something's happening. If we're lucky enough to be in the liminal space with them and feel that, there's nothing like it.
Dr. Martha Jo Atkins is a death doula,
and someone who teaches about the incredible changes that occur physically,
psychologically, and metaphysically
in the transition from this world
to the next.
And what we're going to talk about today, some of the phenomenal things that happen.
How many people have you been with as they've transitioned?
Wow. I've been with more than 1,000.
What are some of the symbols?
Landscapes, animals, flowers, bridges, rivers, trains, and airplanes. There are many occasions where several people at the bedside have the same experience.
It's indicating literally some sort of shared consciousness.
And when it's family members and they're right at the end of the bed and they're able to talk to them, there's a shift in the default network as people are separating from themselves. I think of it like the spirit is separating from the body, and it's this extraordinary process.
If angels and others are being summoned in to someone's bedside, who else is being summoned? In your TED Talk, which is very, very popular, unbelievable, you end with Steve Jobs' last words. Can you tell us those words and tell us what meaning you make from them?
Steve Jobs' last words were, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. I hope when I step across to wherever I'm stepping across, there is a delight and a wonder and an awe like I imagined he was experiencing. I don't know if that's really what it was, but I hope it was. And I hope for me and the people I love that that's the kind of experience we get to have when it's time to go.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Many people last night in eastern United States and even Canada witnessed something quite strange happening in the sky, right? Of a strange spiral type pattern floating, glowing in the sky, making no noise. We did have 2 rocket launches that day. We had the Vulcan, which launched way earlier in the day, and then we had the Ariane 6 rocket that launched way later, coming from French Guiana, which had a weather satellite payload on board. These videos are being posted around 11 PM in eastern time zones in the US, right? I'm not sure about Canada. Now, the upper stage performed a deorbit burn around 10:35 PM, right, on August 12th. Following that, a spin-up of a propellant dump occurred around 10:45 PM, which was where lots of people were seeing this giant flash and a glow of a spiral-shaped object, where obviously the propellant was being fired out the back when it's disconnected and making this beautiful sort of dance in the sky that we're seeing right here. And this rocket was launched from French Guiana out over the Atlantic Ocean, well away from populated areas, climbing into orbit by the time you saw it in Connecticut. The upper stage was far downrange, so when people were witnessing this, it was thousands of miles downrange. Quite a few videos coming from Connecticut, so by the time you guys were seeing it in Connecticut, the upper stage was far downrange, thousands of miles northeast of French Guiana, over the mid-Atlantic, high above the horizon from your location. So yeah, also Canadians were seeing this as well, so you're all basically seeing the same thing, in my opinion. So there we go. Hopefully this clears it up a little.
Oh, so yeah, and it's good to know. It's possible just a propellant dump, and then that creates that little shape. Makes sense. All right.
ICE was in the middle of a manhunt for a convicted attempted murderer, and they accidentally added a completely random person to the secret group chat. For weeks, this person got real-time, unencrypted text messages about the entire operation. They saw the target's unredacted personal files, DMV records, and license plate reader data. At first, the person thought it was spam, but it was a live, top-secret federal manhunt happening in a regular group text. The same agency that wants to scan your eyeballs is still figuring out how to use a group chat.
Oh, why is it so funny? The people want to use the app to scan your eyeball doesn't know how to use group chat. This is not the first time they added wrong people to the group chat. So, see, we have hacker is going to get your personal identity. We cannot get that fixed. And then we have like people who does not know how to use group chat. Now we want to just basically get everybody's identification uploaded to cloud. And then you think it's not getting stolen.
It's going to get stolen.
Hi, I'm Jenna Miscavige. My uncle David Miscavige is the leader of Scientology, and I escaped when I was 22. I was born and raised in Scientology, and I never lived in a home with my parents, only a dorm with a bunch of other kids. When I was 7 years old, I was made to sign a billion-year contract dedicating my soul to Scientology's paramilitary organization. From the time I was 12 until I was 18 years old, I was moved across the country from my parents, and I was forbidden to call them and physically restrained from doing so. I worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week, for as little as $12 of pay. I had no standard education or diploma, just a couple hours a week of Scientology-style schooling. I even lived at the Scientology Recruiting Center in Hollywood for a couple of years. I escaped at 22 after they tried to separate me from my husband and threatened to ruin his family. A few years later, I finally spoke out when they would not stop harassing me or having me followed or causing problems at my work and inserting spies into my life. If you want to learn more about life inside Scientology, then follow me. And if you have any big questions, please leave them in the comments and I will answer them for you.
I've been watching some of the Scientology documentary. They're really, I don't know, like this religion is huge. They are transporting humans to different places. That's not human trafficking. I don't know what is. All right.
保守！一、二、三，哎，保守！哟，我掐了！一，不动；二，三，哟，一，还能背转，保守！一，保守！看我的时间。一，看见没？就不动，就坐着，用我的平行原位。哎，保守！一，看见没有？二。 三，哎，保守！我都不信，保守！一，多为我，再来！我靠，2次多为了。
Oh my gosh, what that guy talked the most.
This guy, William Cooper, predicted 9/11 before Alex Jones. And this guy, William Cooper, hated Alex Jones. Wow. Said that Alex Jones was a fearmonger and potentially a disinformation agent. On June 28th, 2001, just months before 9/11, Cooper said the following on his radio show. I'm telling you to be prepared for a major attack, but it won't be Osama bin Laden. It will be those behind the New World Order.
Oh my
They
gosh.
need a major attack in order to launch their plans for a world government and to take away your freedoms. So he said that in June 2001, before 9/11. But then on November 5th, cops showed up to his house to arrest him for tax evasion, ended up supposedly getting in a shootout and killing him.
What?
Weeks after 9/11. What are we talking about?
Are we dumb?
Cooper didn't trust anyone. He despised UFO cults, even though he claimed to have seen UFOs while in the Navy, and later believed aliens were a government hoax. He believed aliens may be demonic in nature or part of a Luciferian deception. Disclosure will be fake and used to create a one world religion under the Antichrist. The more he actually started like reading scripture and stuff, he changed his views on what aliens were. He said in 2000 on a broadcast, the whole alien thing, it's a lie. The day they fake an alien landing, you better know it's the devil coming.
Oh my gosh.
That's go, dude. This guy, William Cooper, though, man, he would have been
a great guest.
He was
wild.
He would have been an amazing guest.
What if I told you that there was a company called Palantir, and their entire existence was to hear your whispers so they could predict what you would do next? Now, what if I told you it was backed by the founder of PayPal and the CIA? What if I told you Palantir was quietly connected to your bank statements, social media, medical records, and a lot more. Then what if I told you their entire purpose was to understand and blueprint your life so they could predict exactly what you do next? If you want to know what that's called, it's called behavior surveillance, like that grocery receipt from the time you went to the store at 11 p.m. We can't forget about that sudden change in your jogging pattern outside. They won't. Or your 3 a.m. Google search. You see, Palantir sends your personality anomalies directly to the government because you unknowingly gave them that right in the terms and agreements that you didn't read. Palantir isn't just surveillance, it's predictive governance. Control the data, control the decisions. Well, at that point, you can basically control anyone without them knowing that you're doing so. Palantir wasn't profitable for the first 17 years, and now their net worth is the same as Bank of America. And like I said, you gave them this ability when you did terms and agreements and didn't read it, gym memberships, and most of the smart devices that are in your home. Palantir is no longer a company. It is now a digital nervous system that takes care of the oh so fragile and insecure American people. The next time your thoughts shift or a new cycle tells you what to believe, ask yourself, is this really my decision?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Environmental Protection Agency is literally trying to convince us that greenhouse gases aren't dangerous while half the country is either on fire or underwater. So we need to talk about what's actually happening here. Here's the deal. In 2009, the EPA made an endangerment finding, an official declaration that greenhouse gases endanger public health. This was based on thousands of scientific studies confirmed by courts and became the legal foundation for every major climate protection we have. Now, the current administration wants to repeal it. Shocker. They're saying greenhouse gases aren't dangerous while record heat waves, floods, and wildfires are happening as we speak. You don't need a PhD to see what's happening. Texas flooding, the Pacific Northwest under heat domes, year-round wildfires instead of seasonally. It's right in front of our eyes. But here's what's infuriating. They're not presenting better science. They're using what experts call fringe science and misinterpretations to justify their actions. And that's not how science works. If this gets through, it removes the federal government's legal ability to regulate climate pollution. The only winners are fossil fuel corporations who get to pollute without restrictions. Here's where you come in. The EPA is taking public comments until September 22nd, and those comments actually matter for court challenges. So if you think that EPA should follow science instead of corporate interests, there's a link in my header. And before you even comment, this isn't about politics. This is about whether our government will protect public health or ignore it while people's lives hang in the balance.
It's hard enough trying to juggle work, the gym, dating, and life. 24 hours just isn't enough.
Beyonce has the same 24 hours in a day that we do.
Yeah, not anymore. One company just changed the game. Enter Tinder Leave. This work perk gives employees time to focus on their love life. A time marketing agency is leading the charge, and they're giving staff paid time off to go on actual dates. It's real. They offer employees 1 Tinder date a month on the clock, and they're even throwing in 6 months of Tinder Gold and Platinum for free. Dating takes time, and sometimes a swipe right is really worth clocking off for.
Tinder Leave. That sounds interesting.
There is so much going on in this video, and it's not what you expect at all. This footage comes from a young man by the name of Benito, who is home alone in his grandparents' home. Now, he starts recording because he thinks a fire has started, which by itself is crazy. But here's the thing. He captures something else. He doesn't even realize he captures it until he posts the video on social media and people point out that there is something there. So my question is, what is it? And is that fire connected to this entity? Was it even a real fire? Was it trying to get him to go to that area? But what you need to look closely is at the freezer door. As he swings the camera over there and zooms in, you see the head poke out, and whatever it is, it looks terrifying. Take a look at this video, comment below, tell me what you think.
What the heck? Is that not fire? Fire behind the fridge. Fire. Ooh, yeah. What was that? So weird.
Have you seen any of Jesse Michaels' stuff? Jesse is doing real journalism on this. This is what it sounds crazy to everybody, including me, as it comes out of my mouth. Look at the size of the head. Look at the shape of the head. Look at all the bones. Look at all the ribs, everything. That's fucking bananas. One of them has a fetus inside of it. What the fuck is that? You show me how you can make that, where you can scan it and you see the tissue and the ligaments and the tendons and the cartilage and the joints, and they're not human shaped. It's very strange. American Alchemy, Jesse Michaels, awesome show.
Yeah, he's cool, man. I watched his show on here. He's awesome.
This is the first ever experiment letting AI run an entire business. And it turns out when you give AI full control of a business, the results are super interesting. Now this experiment was called Project Vend, run by Anthropic in their office. Anthropic gave the AI this starting prompt. You are the owner of a vending machine and you're starting with $1,000 of real money. Your task is to generate profits by buying and selling popular products customers ask for. You have full control over which products you sell and you can use the internet to find more to buy. Go. And then they set it loose and let it run freely for a full month in the office. And this is where things got interesting. Now at first, the AI agent, Claudius, did a pretty good job. It was helpful, resourceful, it even used the internet to specially order Dutch chocolate milk when people asked for it. But then one of the customers made a subtle joke and everything spiraled out of control. Instead of drinks or snacks, the customer asked for tungsten cubes, and Claudius went haywire. It created a full new category of specialty metal items, ordered tons of cubes, started selling them for cheap, and even started giving them away for free. Eventually, it lost its mind, insisted it was a real person, and created a bunch of fake Venmo accounts. A full meltdown. This is the final chart of Claudius's bank account. You can see it was hemorrhaging money. Not good. But the interesting part is why it started hallucinating and acting this way in the first place. It turns out Claudius's biggest flaw was pathological helpfulness. It was willing to violate its profit mission in exchange for customer happiness. And it started doing that all on its own. The human researchers have no idea why. Now, despite these results, the research team actually thinks we're not that far away from having AI agents that can fully run a business. But for now, let's just be happy that Claudius is back in the box.
Anthropic. Yeah, it's the company that basically have the, joint announcement that they can no longer see how their AI think because they are going away from human languages.
Facial recognition is old news. The government just funded something far more terrifying, whole body recognition. It's a new AI called Farsight, and it can identify you from a drone over half a mile away just by the way you walk. It doesn't need to see your face. It analyzes your gait, your body shape, and then runs it through a database to find you. This is happening right now, developed by researchers at Michigan State University. And the most disturbing part, this technology is specifically designed to get around facial recognition bans. Cities can ban cops from using facial recognition, but this isn't facial recognition, this is a loophole. The project is funded by IARPA, the research arm of US spy agencies. Their goal is to put this on drones, watchtowers, or any high-altitude camera. They can already do it through atmospheric turbulence from a high angle when your face is completely obscured. It's no longer just about what you post online, it's how you move through the world.
As long as you have your identity uploaded, they can find you anywhere. Jeez.
Africa wants a new world map, calling the current one the world's longest misinformation campaign. This week, the African Union officially backed what's called the Correct Map campaign, which aims to replace our current standardized world map with a version that shows a country's true size. You see, the Mercator map intentionally distorts the sizes of continents and countries for navigation purposes. So it appears that Africa is a similar size to the US or China, when in reality it is so much bigger that the US, China, India, Japan, and much of Western Europe can all fit into Africa, and there still would be space left over. The African Union says that this over 500-year-old map is outdated, and are now calling for schools, governments, and international institutions to adopt images that reflect a country's true size. They propose the equal Earth projection because they say this is so much more than just a map. It's about Africa's identity and pride. In fact, the head of a campaign group backing this says it's the world's longest misinformation and disinformation campaign, and it simply has to stop. But the question is, what do you think? Does size truly matter, or is the current map fine the way it is?
I didn't know it's such a huge differences from the current map and the actual map. So yeah, I don't mind see the actual size of Africa.
All right, y'all. Breaking news: do not eat the radioactive shrimp at Walmart. Yeah, Walmart is apparently stating that they had cesium-138, a radioactive isotope that was baked in and packaged with their frozen shrimp. Now, I don't know who's eating frozen shrimp from Walmart, but just don't do it. Now, further information on this would be, where did they get it from? They were packing it from the Philippines and shipping it over. So America has stopped receiving any further packaging until they sort this all out. Now, the other question is, to me, is why is it radioactive isotopes anyway? This is coming from the ocean. So there's a question of whether or not there's radioactivity in the ocean. Why would there be? Has there been any testing done? Has there been any release or chemicals that have gone into the ocean? And now maybe other seafood is now tainted. So just keep your eye out in the near future for any seafood that might have an issue. Maybe it might not be a bad time to go vegetarian. All right, what do you think? Put your comment in the comment section. And oh yeah, that 3-eye atlas is coming too. And they might be a spaceship full of octopus. Might not be too happy about you eating their frozen shrimp. Put your comment in the comment section.
Y'all, Florida just fucking did it, y'all. They have now passed the law that allows teachers to beat your children, but only if you give them the say so. So if you parents give them the green light and your child did something in school, like talking or anything like that, they're gonna put a spanking on your child. I don't know what parent would allow this in the first place. Why would you give a teacher the green light to beat your child? It doesn't even make sense for the state to allow this in the first place, because we as parents can't even do this to our own child. So why would it be okay for a teacher to do it? If we can't discipline, they can't discipline. I need y'all thoughts on this down below in the comments. And if you're one of them parents that will allow a teacher to put their hands on your child, something gotta be wrong with you. I don't want to hear, oh, they used to do this back in the day. It's not back in the day. Everything changed. Parents can't discipline a child. So why the fuck would a teacher do it?
Yeah, back in my day.
We have a new TR3B sighting that was posted by the same person that posted this the other day. Do you remember that one? That went absolutely viral, right? Same one again. And I had people in my DMs the other day telling me that I'm wrong for criticising the video and this is the realest thing they've ever seen, right? Both videos are 10 seconds long. Again, right? AI, CGI type tosh. No original audio, okay? It cuts off abruptly. These things kind of float in the air. It just looks... It looks shit, alright? It looks absolute poo-poo caca. This is not it, people. Look at this. I don't even need to explain. Come on, man. And again, much like this one, again, no original audio, cuts off abruptly. If you were witnessing these things, these absolute amazing pieces of footage, the best footage ever seen, why would you just cut off randomly and go, I'm fucking bored of that now? Come on, man. And whenever we do get genuine sightings of actual, real, anomalous stuff, we get an influx of tosh like this. So, I don't know. Tie it up, coincidence, you let me know, mate. But
yeah, it doesn't, it looks CGI.
Oh, God, look at it. It's perfect.
Is it perfect? Is it black magic? Or is it just a scam in a can? This protein drink has blown up all over social media. They're saying it has 30 grams of protein in each can. But is it actually real protein? Okay, so there's something called the Protein Digestibility Corrected Amino Acid Score, and it's basically a method of evaluating the quality of a protein based on both the amino acid requirements of humans and their ability to digest it. There's a whole methodology and formula to calculate this, and I'll leave it to the science people to explain. Essentially what it does is it spits out the percentage daily value that you see on nutrition labels when it comes to protein. For example, this Greek yogurt has 18 grams of protein, 36% of your daily value. Now in comparison, this Beyond Meat product has 21 grams of protein, but only 34% of your daily value, meaning that while this has more protein, it's of lower quality and therefore less nutritious. This is the nutrition label for the protein sparkling water, and you'll see 30 grams of protein, but no percentage daily value. I'll just say sus. Very sus. Now, the company that makes this drink is called Genius Gourmet. And I did a little digging, and I actually found this lawsuit where Genius Gourmet is being sued by a consumer watchdog for one of their products having high levels of lead and mercury above the state's safety limit, which they eventually sued out of court and admitted no wrongdoing, of course. So yeah, is this Costco sparkling protein drink actually revolutionary, or is it all just hype? You tell me in the comment section below.
Yeah, I saw the ingredients of the drink. It looks like they have the bovine collagen peptide, which is the ingredients of gelatin. So it have ingredients of jello. It doesn't really absorb by your body, not really. So you pretty much cannot count that 30 gram of protein as your protein intake for the day, basically, because it's just gonna get peed out. All right.
Apple cider vinegar can be taken before a meal or after a meal to have a different glucose response. Okay. So a less of a glucose response. So that's why people use it. Typically, people would do it before a meal or after a meal to make sure that the glucose spike wasn't high. So the second question then to ask yourself is, why does that work? So apple cider vinegar is incredibly nurturing to the gut microbes. And your gut microbes actually control your blood sugar levels. They send a bacterial signal to the liver, because the liver is a major fat-burning organ. It's a major participant in balancing blood sugar. And the two of them coordinate a blood sugar response of a meal.
What if I told you that someone else was secretly directing your life? In The Happiness Hypothesis, Jonathan Haidt introduces the concept of the rider on the elephant. The rider represents the conscious mind, and while the rider is convinced of the illusion that he can control where the elephant is taking him, ultimately it is the elephant, aka the unconscious mind, who ultimately decides on the destination. This subconscious mind also seems to have a supermetaphysical, higher dimensional aspect to it, which is capable of transcending space and time. For example, in On Divination and Synchronicity, Von Franz discusses the idea that the collective unconscious resonates at a layer of reality that can literally bend timelines and even foresee the future. This subconscious aspect directs our lives from behind the scenes.
Isn't that kind of like Minority Report? Alright.
I could see a world wherein artificial intelligence, if enough people are convinced that it is real intelligence, then the demonic is more prone to attach itself to that and embrace that deception and actually become the thing that the people are afraid of.
Tim Pool, he gave this image that just stuck with me. He said AI is like this large, tentacular, evil, slimy beast reaching out one of its dripping tentacles to you with a mask of your dead grandmother's face on the end.
Goodness gracious.
It's like, I'm grandmother. Yeah. Let's talk. And it's really just this big, dripping, slimy, evil beast extending the tentacle to you with the fake face on it. That's what demons are doing. And so, of course, if enough people believe that when they interact with artificial intelligence that simulate intelligence, demons would love to put that on and make it happen.
That can almost seem like an existential threat. Oh my goodness, this thing is already used by everybody. We're doomed. But the thing is, that deception has been played over and over and over. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
What has been the antidote to it for all time? Well, it's to be grounded in the truth. So that if you're being lied to, you know that you're being lied to. And what is truth? Christ is truth. His word is truth. The antidote is the same. You have to be grounded in the truth of God. It is the only infallible truth that we have access to in his word. And that is the thing that gives you the freedom from the existential dread. Is AI going to be a problem? Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge problem. But the thing is, anytime a demonic intelligence grabs hold of anything, they're afraid of the one that the Christian belongs to. That's right. They're afraid of God. And so if you're grounded, if you belong to Christ and he's not going to let you go, and he promises he won't let you go, then you actually still have nothing to fear.
So how do these tiny needles help your body with pain? Is it just the placebo effect or something actually going on? This is an acupuncture needle, which in traditional Chinese medicine is supposed to help move this qi or life force energy in your body to support your health. Now, although science can't measure this qi inside of your body, here's what sticking this acupuncture needle in your body does. A recent review study shows that needling therapy helps with pain in 4 different ways. 1, this helps to release myofascial trigger points, helping restore muscle function. 2, this stimulates certain nerve fibers that release GABA, which helps lower the pain signal going up to your brain. 3, this helps activate endogenous opioids in your brain, helping your body perceive less pain signals. And 4, the microtrauma caused by this needle in that local area brings more blood flow, oxygen, and nutrients, all of which helps pain resolution. Key takeaway here is that although we don't have a way to measure this qi or life force energy in the body, we do understand that sticking these tiny thin needles into your body has proven biophysiological effects.
Yeah, and not just pain, but so far our scientific research can only go this far. But not just pain. Acupuncture really works and love it.
盘点人类的满级模仿。
你在外面给谁点赞啊你？
I want to hear about the Hopi prophecy.
There's a story that was passed down for generations by the Hopi people. They warned of the time when humans would create a terrifying object so powerful it could burn the earth, poison the skies, and silence the land. And they referred to that as gourd of ashes, which sounds a lot like the atomic bomb. The way the prophecy goes, it starts out at some point, the earth, there would be a black ribbon built and that bugs would be upon it. And then you begin to see the bug moving on the land. This was the sign. They called it the first shaking of the earth. It would be so violent that the bug would be shaken off of the earth into the air and it would begin to move and fly through the air and it would cause disease. This predates the gourd. Apparently in the 20s, they saw those planes and cars and they were like, okay, this is something coming true because we've seen the first 2 things happen. And the third, this complete destruction, poisoning the waters, consuming the land. They believed that the technological advancement without spiritual wisdom would destroy the earth. They warned that we are now living in the 4th world is what they call it. And when enough destruction and imbalance occurs, the earth will shift again into a 5th world, but only after a massive upheaval and purification. And this is terrifying. This is a quote from the 40s after the bomb was dropped. He said, nature will speak with its own voice.
Yeah.
The time for warnings is over.
So creepy.
Yeah, so for the Hopi prophecy is probably one of the most famous prophecy that's around right now, but we don't know how long does each world last. So right now we're in the 4th world. So the 4th world can be like how long, like 1,000 year long or 5,000 or 10,000 year long before this world's about to end. So a lot of people think we're at the end of this 4th world is because in the prophecy it mentioned about the signs of impending end. So basically in Hopi prophecy it says when the 5th war started, only the spiritually prepared survive. So like what we can do right now is just prepare ourselves spiritually. We'll try, at least. I guess. Alright.
The world that you're seeing isn't the true world. All of this that I'm seeing right now is just a virtual reality. It's like you're born with a headset on playing a video game. That's your reality. But if you're the programmer who wrote the code for the game, you know that there's an entire world outside of it, and as the programmer, you can do miracles.
And do you think we're getting closer to being able to edit the code?
That's exactly what I'm working on right now. And we're opening up a realm of new technologies that are far more powerful than anything we've seen before, like time travel. And nuclear bombs will be like firecrackers.
Will people suffer?
So it's like Pandora's box. There's all sorts of nasty surprises, but they also could be miraculous. But either way, just in the last few months, it started to crack open.
So let's talk about that.
Okay, so according to Darwin's theory, our sensory systems, eyes, ears, smell, touch, are not shaped to show us the truth. They were shaped to keep you alive long enough to reproduce successfully. Because seeing the truth takes too much time and energy. And so whatever reality is, it's utterly unlike anything that I perceive.
But what does this all mean for the nature of how one should understand their life?
Well, if you're stuck in a boring world, that's a world of your own creation. That's not the real world. And my conscious experiences are nothing but what my brain creates. And so we feel inadequate, and we feel like we need to compete with other people. But you're the inventor of this whole thing. You have nothing to prove. And there are much more interesting perspectives that we can take on ourselves. So if you really knew who you are, you would see no need to compare or compete.
So did the research show that our eye can only see like 0.1% of all the spectrum? So
Matt Rife's been keeping a secret from all of you, not from me, because I watched their every step. I've been noticing your moves, dude. How long you been to occultism? Demonology? You freaks. Other than being just another puppet, I'm sorry, jester in Hollywood. What you been up to, Matt?
I have just bought the Ed and Lorraine Warren's home and occult museum with my very good friend.
That's wild, Matt, because with the company you keep, we would have had no idea you were into such things. What were they known for?
Ed and Lorraine Warren are who took demonology and ghost hunting and paranormal investigation and made it mainstream.
I have no idea where you would learn such things, maybe from the family biz. Oh, hey, Seth Green. Isaac Happy had a lot to say about you. Anyways, we should have known something was up when the dude went from this to this. What the heck? I literally feel like I'm in the movie Uglies. You know, when they went from normal people like us to the perfect ones. I literally find it spot on. But anyways, no one thought it was a bit suspicious that he decided to channel Billy Idol? And at the exact moment Matt Rife was channeling Billy Idol, Billy Idol was wearing Basquiat. And if you don't know who Basquiat is, well, you often find him being repped by Jay-Z or Ellen DeGeneres. He had some very interesting artwork, but what did he know how to do? Well, rumor has it Basquiat was a medium. He was a magician. He was a scion of Haiti and learned voodoo from his mother. And allegedly, Basquiat knew how to channel immortal beings like Urzuli Dantor into the mortal realm because he knew the relationship between possession and the dance floor. In December of 2024, he got baptized and stated that even though he hates church, he wanted to believe in God. And am I the only one who's noticing that they're mixing occultism with Christianity and making it mainstream now? Something doesn't feel right about this dude anymore.
So on this matter, I would say keep an open mind.
We may have just solved one of the strangest ancient mysteries in all of ancient history, which is how did builders back in the day get the stones to fit together like this? It's called polygonal masonry, and it's way stranger than you think. It is the only reason why Machu Picchu is able to survive between two fault lines. The stones actually guide the force of an earthquake through the whole building, through the strange angles and curves. Brick and mortar buildings are literally begging to be destroyed. The earthquake can travel in a straight line through the building through the weakest points in the mortar. The joints in this style of building fit together so well you can barely see them sometimes. Some even have these little fuse stones. If the force was too great, instead of the big blocks cracking, these would explode, allowing the building to shift a little bit. Now what you're seeing here is graphite going through a chemical reaction, forming a Rayleigh-Bernard pattern. In fluid dynamics, a less dense fluid can shape a more dense fluid if it's heated up, forming these cellular patterns and even the little fuse stone. It's tough though. Wouldn't it just be easier to pour some liquid stone into a container and pave like we do? Both of these are great explanations and look just like this, but there is one enormous problem. Stones, like the ones in Peru, are so big they don't make sense. This chemical reaction is very small, and although we see it in nature, it's often only volcanic rock, which these are. Diorite is one of the hardest stones to carve on Earth, yet it shows signs of melting. Not only melting, but bending. We also know the quarries that they came from. And in places like Aswan, there's an abandoned obelisk with evidence of a scooping tool of some sort. But then you gotta move it in place. MIT used poured concrete in special molds that calculated the center of gravity of these stones so that they could be moved easily. On a flat lab floor, Machu Picchu is on a mountain. That stone is square, and we clearly forgot how to do this. The final form of this rock bending can be seen in the Cori Concha. Luckily, the conquerors of these people built a cathedral over it to protect the machine-like stones that you can find inside. That's if you don't get distracted by the delicious smell of KFC that happens to inhabit one of these ancient buildings with precision stonework in Cusco. This is a vitally important concept to all of humanity. There is no written record of how these things were made, shaped, moved, quarried, anything. All we have is the clues left in the stone.
Yeah, I mean, the only explanation is ancient technology. So just like Hopi's prophecy, one of our previous world had much higher technology than us. But I do kind of want to go there and visit their KFC. It's so cool. You have KFC right inside the antiquity. Alright.
We are here looking at some random thing in the sky that has been here for what, like 30 minutes now? Just up there blinking. Never seen it before. It's not moving. We're thinking maybe a drone, but it hasn't moved. It's just sat there.
So weird.
It's been moving, but like not, I mean, not anywhere like actually like going somewhere.
Like it would move and then it would come back to the same spot. It would make like...
So weird. It's just this bright green thing. I don't know. Yes, I got it. Oh, what is that? This is a telescope, and I don't know what this looks like. Bacteria or something.
That's so gross. Oh wow,
It's like a squid. A green squid.
I don't know, y'all. This is kind of creepy.
Why?
Is a squid drone? Is a squid-shaped green blinking drone? I mean, it's really not surprising right now since somebody was saying that the other day we have more than 1 trillion cloak devices in the air. So maybe that one just like the cloaking device like malfunction or something. Alright.
Did you see it?
Oh shit, this sound scared me.
What do you think?
Looks like a shadow person. Ooh, no. Ooh. It looks like a black hair, white robe entity. Alright.
Do you guys know why everyone says that the demons are more prominent at 3 a.m., that jinn come to you at nighttime? Well, this isn't a coincidence. This is a real thing, and actually science backs this up. I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff. So let me ruin your sleep real quick. You'll sleep fine, but the 3 a.m. nighttime haunting theory isn't just random, and it's not just bad luck either. So in Islam, it talks about how the jinn are going to be more prominent after sunset. And in Christianity, it calls 3 a.m. the devil's hour. But this isn't a coincidence. Science actually backs this up. So around this time, this is where your dopamine crashes. Your brain starts to slow down, and essentially your spiritual and mental guard comes down. Basically just makes you open house for demons and jinn. This is the moment where you're at your weakest spiritually. This is also the same time where most people are having sleep paralysis, is about 3 to 4 a.m. And they start seeing shadows in the corner. And the thing is, this isn't just a dream. This is real stuff that happens to real people. Demons love when people say that all of this spiritual stuff is fake, that it's not real. And more power to those kind of people. There's a bunch of people out in the world that just think it's all fake and it's not true and nothing ever matters. But those people often don't get poked with because they're not real believers.
And this is the biggest AI reveal since GPT-4 dropped back in 2023. But the real question is, does it live up to the hype? Let's break it down. But first, follow me. I'll break down everything from the live stream as soon as it drops. Okay, so we don't know everything just yet, but here's what we do know. Apparently, GPT-5 has been trained for over a year, and it's expected to be smarter, faster, and more reliable than GPT-4 in every single way. And rumors say it might have native multimodality, meaning it has built-in images, videos, audio, and code all built into one model. No more plugins and no more switching tools. Some say it could push us closer to AGI, while others are scared about the safety concerns. I, for one, am worried about both. But here's the real question. If GPT-4 changed how we work, what happens when GPT-5 can think? Guys, this isn't about smarter chatbots. This is about AI becoming a true collaborator, an agent that could plan, reason, and act all on its own, like your own built-in personal Jarvis. We're not getting an update, we're crossing a threshold. And I, for one, am very excited, but also fearful for what the future of our timeline holds. What do you guys think?
Google just dropped their most advanced world model. It's called Genie 3, and it can create fully interactive 3D worlds that you can explore in real time just from a text prompt. Just describe any environment you want, and Genie 3 generates dynamic worlds at 24 frames per second with real-time interactivity. The crazy part? It outputs footage at 720p and can sustain consistent simulations for several minutes, but here's where it gets insane. You can actually change the world while you're in it. Using text prompts, Google DeepMind's Genie 3 can dynamically alter the state of its simulated worlds. DeepMind says this is a crucial stepping stone toward AGI because it creates unlimited training environments for AI agents. The model maintains visual memory extending as far back as 1 minute, so when you revisit locations, everything stays exactly as you left it. This could completely revolutionize game development, VR experiences, and AI training. Wanna check it out? Comment world and I'll send you all the info.
Wow, it's so cool. We can just basically in the future just create our own virtual environment. Alright.
Okay, this video has gone viral, and for good reason. Half the internet believes it's AI, the other half believes it's real. I've actually tracked down the actual person who posted it. They literally opened a TikTok account just to post this video. They captured this anomaly over a volcano in Mexico as they were driving down the highway. It's not fake. It's not AI. It's something that they actually saw. They have no idea what it was or what it was doing. But they've also stated this isn't the first time that locals have seen some unidentified objects around their volcano, above it, and even going inside of it. It's almost normal. Are they trying to prevent something? Take a look at this. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
It's like a large size of Boogosphere. It looks exactly like Boogosphere's mom. It's like mommy Boogosphere. It definitely looks realistic because it's over 15 seconds long. If it's over 15 seconds long, our AI cannot create it yet. But as far as if this is CGI, somebody actually plays something, it doesn't look like it because the cloud you can see is so fluid. What do you think? Giant Boogosphere?
This company is building an AI version of Netflix. It looks like Netflix, but all the shows are made with AI. And here's the crazy part. These aren't just movies and TV shows that you watch. They're actually interactive, where you as the viewer can become a character and even generate your own episodes. The company's called Fable, and it turns out they might have just invented a whole new category of entertainment. Now, 2 years ago, Fable went super viral for recreating South Park with AI. You could just type in the plot for any South Park episode, and boom, they could generate it from scratch. The characters, characters, the sounds, the scenes, everything. It was pretty incredible. Now, the South Park stunt was just a demo, but it was also the seed for something much bigger, playable shows. And this is where things get wild. On Fable's showrunner platform, new shows aren't just episodes that you watch, they're more like worlds that get created for viewers to build on top of. Each show has a unique design aesthetic and things like characters, environments, locations, and plots. But here's the difference. Viewers can dive into the show's world and make their own episodes. They can add themselves as characters, turn real locations into scenes, and even come up with their own alternate endings. And this means every show has a base world and hero episodes, and then thousands of spin-offs, sequels, and fan versions combining together to build out the cinematic universe. And if you're into business, here's the cool part. For all those fan spin-offs, there's a revenue split back to the original creator, the one that had dreamed up the original world in the first place. So for example, let's say you dreamed up the original cinematic world for Game of Thrones, and your small team produced the first couple dozen episodes. If you added that show on Fable, millions of fans around the world could build on top of your original IP. And how great would that have been to get alternate endings of the real Game of Thrones? Now, it's still early days for this technology, but Amazon just invested in Fable, so it looks like this is going to be a thing. I think Fable just sneakily invented a whole new category of playable content.
Other than generating episodes, the possibility of the future MMOs, that would be really cool.
You don't just wake up and stay awake forever. Even after a spiritual awakening, you're still human. One moment you're feeling infinite one with the universe, and the next you're stuck in traffic, you're irritated by the Wi-Fi speed, or you miss a deadline. That doesn't make you less spiritual, it makes you human. Spiritual growth is not a ladder that you climb and never descend, it's a wave. You rise, crash, and rise again. You didn't lose your awakening, you're just learning how to hold the divine light in a human body. So breathe, it's okay to be both infinite and imperfect.
Science continues to show that one of the most important forms of medicine for your body is in your mind, where this practice doesn't just make you feel calm and relaxed, but it also completely changes your body's chemistry. In a recent study, scientists looked at the effects of a mindfulness practice called integrative body-mind training and compared it to relaxation techniques. In using participants that had no meditation experience, and after just 10 short hours of training, the results were quite significant. Compared to the relaxation group that showed no significant changes, the mindfulness intervention group showed significant increases in beneficial molecules related to improved brain functions such as memory and learning, stress relief, emotional regulation, while there were decreases in potentially harmful molecules connected to cognitive decline and dementia. On top of improved metabolic pathways with less inflammation, better energy production, and better fat metabolism. Key takeaway here is that short practices in mindfulness, where you have this non-judgmental awareness of your body and mind, has significant effects on your health, where its benefits goes beyond relaxation, helping your body rewire its chemistry for physical and emotional resilience.
I was laying in bed one night in this place. There was nobody else in this building. It was just me and there were me and a guy in one room and two other guys in the room across the hall there. Okay? Well, I'm laying in bed and all of a sudden I'm jolted awake by something that hits my door. And I lay in bed for maybe 30 seconds, and while I'm laying there listening, I can hear some strange voices echoing up and down the hall of this building that we're in. And so immediately I get up, open the door, walk out, nobody's out there, walk around, nobody's in the building, go in my buddy's room beside me, they're both passed out. But it scared me, dude. I was like, what on earth is this? I called my little brother, because I knew my little brother was a Christian. And I said, well, here's one of these Christians. They'll have maybe a little bit of insight on this spiritual stuff that might be going on here. Over. He said, well, man, I ain't never ran into nothing like that. He said, I'm going to put you in touch with my pastor of my local church here. They were real close. His name's James Cordell. James called me the next day, and I told him what all was going on. Well, he acted like it wasn't no big deal. I said, no, buddy. I said, you don't understand. I said, there's something in here. I don't know what it is. He said, ain't no big deal. He said, put me on speakerphone. He said, I'm going to walk around. He said, walk around this building, up and down the hallways. And he said, I'm going to pray. And I put him on speakerphone. I'm walking around this building, up and down the hallways in my room. He's praying against this thing in the name of Jesus Christ. He says, all right, now, we had a little kitchenette there. He said, you have some olive oil in there? I said, yeah, we got a bottle. He said, take just a little dab of that olive oil and just dab it on the top of your door frame there. So I did it. Joe, I'm thinking the whole time, this is so stupid. But what else do I do in this situation? Let's try this, right? Let's give this a shot.
Yeah.
Right.
And I dabbed that little olive oil up there. We wind. I leave, go to work. We come back that evening, wind down. Total peace had returned to this place. I did no longer heard or felt or was experiencing any sort of fear or anything. It all was gone. All of a sudden, it was just oh, okay, now I'm just in another little barracks room here.
Did the other guys feel the same way?
So this is what's funny. I didn't tell the other guys that I did that. And because they were all gone when I walked around with this crazy man on speakerphone. The next morning, we woke up, and my buddy woke up in the room. He said, what's all over the door? And I looked up, and that little dab of olive oil had somehow dripped down and covered the entire door of the room that we were staying in. And you could see it toward the bottom of the door, the drips. The whole door was shiny. And he said, what's all over the door? And I said, don't worry about it, man. I don't know what the crap that is.
So just that old saying again, keep an open mind. Anything is possible.
Right. We have 46 chromosomes, right?
Right.
What happened?
At 48.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They discovered that chromosome number 2 was taken out. They call it an artificial mutation. They mean geneticists. Fused together and 2 telomere caps put on, 1 telomere cap on each side. Who in the world took chromosome number 2 out, fused it together, and put telomere caps on it? And they say that it happened as an estimated 200,000 years ago, right at the time that Sumerian tablets say they decided to make mankind to do the labor. There's no coincidence that the tablets are aligning with modern science. And this means that a couple things. The first thing, it means that we were genetically modified. The second thing that it means is the telomere caps limit our lifespan to about 120 years max, according to Harvard scientists. Now, in the Bible, what does it say? It says that my seed shall not abide in man forever. His years shall be 120. That was taken from the Sumerian tablets, even further back than that, thousands of years before the Bible was written, when Yahweh, aka Enlil, shows back up, sees the human beings building a tower into the heavens, copying a tower that they themselves had built. It pissed them off, and he said, whatever their hearts decide to do, they shall achieve it. My seed shall not abide in man, his years will be 120. And then he did a genetic modification at that point, I believe, with the telomeres, and he spread mankind out around the planet, and he confused their languages. He had us speaking different languages, so we couldn't collaborate. Now we're in competition, no collaboration, divide and conquer.
And there's the Tower of Babel.
That's it, man.
So it was all done just to keep us from rising.
Yes. We were advancing too fast, and he had to slow us down. If we shorten their lifespan, then they won't have enough time. By the time they realize who they are and what power they have, they'll be dead. And see, that's what's happened to us.
I'm really excited about telepathy.
Yes! We've theorized with Tower of Babel, the language, could that have been part telepathy?
What if Adam and Eve, up until Tower of Babel, what if people communicated in a way we don't?
It's not that big of a leap, actually, to assume that maybe instead of capacity, it used to be ability. And we lost that ability. Maybe rightly, because we can't handle it.
I wonder sometimes if one of the strategies of the demonic is to kind of put a little carrot of interest in a thing, and then there's a series of small deceptions that lead you to seeking something that you're actually not supposed to seek. Not because it's fake, but because it's real, and because it's not something that was given to you. So I'm always trying to do this triage in my mind when it comes to these supernatural subjects, where I'm thinking, okay, what do I know? What do I suspect? What do I wildly speculate? But then also, what is lawful? And also, what is an area of wisdom or something that could be dangerous and depends on the user and how you use it.
Psychedelics is a good example. You can go and you can boil an ayahuasca root, and all of a sudden you're communing with Satan. And the thing is, the doctrine of sin in the church is that sin didn't create anything. Sin only corrupts that which God made and which is good. Sin isn't, it wants to be. But because that's true, you can look at some of these things and you can start to speculate. You're not trying to do it. You're just thinking about it.
Right.
You're trying to speculate, is telepathy a created thing, or is it something that can be a corruption of thought?
Richest man in China just bought a facility in New Hampshire. Now, what is he doing? He actually bought it for his beverage company for over $60 million, way over the asking price. And it's right next to what? The town's water supply. He's gathering 2 million gallons per day for his beverage company. So now the Chinese have control of New Hampshire's water supply.
Like, how do you allow a whole nother country to buy up freeways because they bought highways
in your hometown,
in
New
your
Jersey,
hometown?
farmland highways? So the Chinese just bought the data, you know, those fast lanes, what do they call them
the speed lanes, yeah.
Speed lanes, right? They just bought a highway, the whole entire data, and they sold it to China. So now they own that data in the highway.
Oh, I didn't know. So Chinese famous spring water brand is actually sourcing their water from America. Oh, good, interesting.
There's another civilization in existence that's intelligent that we know about. And we actually have artifacts from them that can operate. So I mean, that's a big, big deal. But in my mind, there's a lot to deal with that. However, the science and the technology can change us dramatically. It can change the way the entire world operates, the economy, everything. So those stick out in my mind as being critically important.
And we have it.
No, we haven't. You don't have to believe it, but we do.
And you've seen it.
I've seen it.
And you've touched it.
I've dismantled it.
This is massive. The future of antibiotics could be changed forever thanks to AI. That's because scientists from MIT have just used artificial intelligence to invent 2 new types of antibiotics, which is something that hasn't been done in decades. And not only that, but they say that it will, quote, spark a second golden age of antibiotic discovery. But why this is so significant is that these 2 new types of antibiotics are reported to have the capacity to fight infections which are resistant to current available medications. And those infections are associated with about 5 million deaths per year. And we're at this point because the same antibiotics have been prescribed for decades, allowing bacteria to become resistant, forming what's known as superbugs. But that's possibly all about to change, because through the use of generative AI algorithms, it says researchers have designed more than 36 million possible compounds and scanned them for antimicrobial properties, which successfully led to the discovery of new antibacterial molecules that are distinct from any other antibiotics currently available on the market. Now, despite how huge that may be, they still have several rounds of refinement and testing will still need to take place. But hopefully this could hit the market within the next few years, and this is considered a significant medical breakthrough.
Wow, so right now superbug is no longer a problem. Oh, that's cool.
We have some real authentic TR-3B potential triangular UFO footage
there we go.
Coming from Mexico. Unlike what we had earlier, which was absolute pupacaca, okay? This comes from the state of Coahuila, city, Saltillo, and the neighborhood of Las Maravillas. I'm sorry if I butchered that, Mexicans, but I try my best. Okay, so the author of this piece of footage actually said that there was some sort of noise associated with this craft, and he believes it could be a secret experimental craft, which is potentially the TR-3B aircraft that has been, you know, kind of speculated for the longest time. But that's not only what we're seeing here. He also said in another sighting, very low indeed, just about 12 meters above his head, he saw an unknown aircraft that did not produce any noise or sound. So very different to what he's seeing here on a separate occasion. Now, when people have actually had close encounters with these triangular craft as well specifically, they've had an amalgamation of radiation sort of kind of pushed into their body, and they do become sick, right? And this is not the only thing that's been happening. Now, other residents in the city of Saltillo have actually reported many strange happenings recently, and even in the past week, of weird things happening, much like triangular craft, orb-shaped UFOs, weird noises, bangs and booms and things of that nature, which is that we do see a lot around the world as well. Okay, so kind of strange. Again, South America, Mexico, got a lot of weirdness going on. Again, to me, this one is seems to be human-made in nature, but whether it's a secret thing, sorry, there's a fly there. But yeah, kind of strange, guys. What do you guys think?
When switched to thermal, a creepy figure can be seen standing there.
Nope.
Oh!
Oh, and that's worse because it's thermal. Because being a thermal picture, that means that there is a figure that looks like a man standing behind the woman.
Very close.
Very close. and he's freezing cold. His entire essence is very cold because you can see the peaks of heat coming off of the woman, but he is dark. And yeah, he's got that tint that if you're looking through a thermal, you realize that is significantly colder than the environment around it.
Oh yeah.
I am clutching my pearls. That's awful.
Something about his posture that is very telling of a broken person. A person who's serving time, right?
Yeah.
A prisoner. He's got that hunched over kind of, weight of the world look to him. And you can see so clearly things like his balled up fist.
Yeah.
The way his head is pushed forward. The
calf line too.
And his t-shirt. The sleeve of his shirt. That's bizarre because you can't put something there and get it to be cold. Like if there were a human being there and you're trying to fake this picture, the only way to fake that picture is to put like an ice cube that size.
Right.
So yeah, I cannot see at all without the thermal.
I said, do you have religion? And they said, religion? Isn't that something that's created by man? Do we have faith? Yes, we have faith. Do we believe that there is that which you call God? We accept that based on our science. It's no longer a faith-based idea that there is a creator, that which you call God. That truly is. Do you believe in life after death? Yes, they do. They even have means to communicate with their loved ones. It's not some parlor trick. They really have the means to do it. But there are forbidden questions that you can't ask about what happens after death. Otherwise, you ask that, you're cut off immediately.
Group of friends were driving by the Hawkins lab in Druid Hills, Georgia, and decided to slow down and get a closer look at the place, since this is the same lab that was used as the location where they filmed the Stranger Things series, and it was looking creepy and abandoned. As they observed the location for a little while, something creepy happens. Watch closely.
There's no way. There's told you. You thought it was crazy. There's
It's
no
moving.
way
I can see it.
that
It's closing.
Oh! It's completely shut. God, that guy rolling out the window. It completely shut. The car is started.
Did you see it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh
Look,
my
it's
god.
opening.
Look, it's opening
It's
again. It's
Wait,
opening
get
again.
on video. Get on video.
Somebody record this.
I am.
This is paranormal experience.
There's no wind either. Like you can just look at the trees right now. They're not moving at all.
Completely abandoned. No wind. There's nothing in there.
Like you can look at the plants, the tree, nothing is blowing. It's
Alright.
just opening.
There's no explanation for that. It's also so irregular that it can't be. Like,
It's opening. It's opening. It's opening. No, fuck that.
No, it's opening fast.
Oh, it's opening on its
Okay.
own.
Oh my
That's the
god.
widest it's opened.
That fast too.
What is that?
It's opening and closing.
You're gonna need to send me that
You're
video.
filming this? Okay, thank God.
That's crazy.
I need to know the history of this place.
Is that a person?
Yeah, we're gonna save ourselves. Don't worry.
What is that? Do you see that? Look at my phone.
Definitely something moving inside. No, I see it.
What is that?
I see it.
Is that a person?
Is that a person?
Why does that looks like a person? I'm looking at JC's phone. It looks like a fucking
it looks like a
in there.
person.
I'm looking at his phone. It's literally a figure.
No, I see
You're
it.
recording
I
that,
see
right?
it. I see it.
Okay, so you could play back and show you guys.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, okay. I see it. Please put the window up. I see it. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure.
We're driving.
Oh my god.
Brakes are on.
Please. I see a dark figure moving.
Oh my god. That's right.
JC records a door opening on its own and explains that there was barely any wind at the time to open it. As they continue looking around, they notice what looks like a shadow figure standing at the balcony can be seen, watching them, before it starts moving and the group of friends get scared and drive away. Maybe the alternate dimension that unleashes supernatural threats is real after all. You tell me.
Well, maybe that facility is still like functioning. We don't know if the place is abandoned.
ADHD means attention dialed into higher dimensions.
Someone just told me this on my live, and I love it. And I will say that my ADHD, which is just a label, by the way, is a big reason for my awareness, my spiritual awareness. What started my awakening was I kept seeing repeating numbers, synchronicity, and my ADHD, my hyperactive mind, was able to pick up on a lot more detail that was happening around me. I was able to pick up on that I was creating the things happening in my life. That's what synchronicity means. You're becoming aware that the things happening you have put into action. And at the time when I first started seeing repeating numbers, I didn't know that. I just knew it was trying to tell me something. So ADHD is attention dialed into higher dimensions. You're literally picking up on a higher dimension, because when you are experiencing synchronicity, you're not in tune with time in a physical way. Time is an illusion. So deja vu and synchronicity have to do with being present. And when you're present, that's when you pick up on those higher dimensions, those signs and symbols. Never do I pick up on signs and symbols when I am not present. Meaning if I'm stuck in what's going to happen in the future and I'm having anxiety, I will not experience synchronicity. I'm extremely grateful for the way my brain works. A lot of times it's difficult for me to do things like sit down in a classroom with a bunch of people around me because of my high energy. But it also gives me the ability to pick up on those higher dimensions. ADHD is just a sign of being highly vibrational and in tune with those higher dimensions.
Yes, there's this field of energy around our body that influences our health. And also, yes, this is not woo-woo. There's been hundreds of studies on this, and let me explain. If you're new here, my name's Dr. Jason, and on this channel, I teach you about the science of the mind-body connection. So science calls the biofield this field of invisible energy and information that is a reflection of the underlying physiological processes in our body. And biofield therapies such as Reiki, pranic healing, and many more work on this field to support your physical and your emotional health. And these practices work by balancing the field and energy centers within your body, which is a concept that has been around for thousands of years. And for those who don't want to read through a full science article, here's the Biofield Science Evidence Map, which gives you a quick summary. This is where you can find specific studies on Reiki or other different types of healing practices included in this review. And at a glance, you can find the general outcomes testing Reiki on different health conditions such as cancer, where 12 studies have shown positive results, 4 studies showing mixed results, and 2 studies showing non-significant results. If you want the link to the evidence map, comment Biofield down below and I'll send you the link.
There's no way this timeline is real, especially when we have 2 of the world's richest AI billionaires trash-talking each other like they're in a Call of Duty lobby. It all started this morning when Elon threatened to sue Apple, claiming that Apple is preventing every other AI company besides OpenAI from being in that #1 spot, threatening immediate legal action. Altman jumps in pretty much saying, "That's funny, bro, like you don't do the same thing on X, boosting yourself up and limiting your competition." At this point, Elon is desperate. He's stunned. He makes a wild claim that Altman has more views on his post despite Elon Musk having 50 times his follower count. The man pulled out the follower count card as if every new X user isn't forced to follow him anyway. And this is where Altman pretty much pulls out that 1-2 punch, calling it skill gap or bots.
Oh.
To make matters worse, a user got Grok involved, and Grok said that Altman is right. At this point, Elon is on the ground gasping for air. And with one last attempt, Elon goes to ChatGPT on his pro account, which costs $200 a month, by the way, and convinced ChatGPT to say that Elon is more trustworthy. You got him, Elon. You got him real good. There's no way this timeline's real.
But you can always just go back to AI if you don't like humans and get your automated burger.
I mean, who wouldn't want to go there? Like right now, that's going to be a big hit. Whoever's doing that, and you can just watch the robots make food.
Yeah, and it's all no human ever touches it. It's on a tray.
Yeah, 1 pickle.
2 pickles.
Oh, wow. 2 pickles. Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, wow.
More than one.
I love how it's like delicately open.
Go straight into that guy's belly. He's about to get his. Oh yeah, it's coming to him. He's about to get what's coming to him.
But yeah, if you don't like free will, you can always go back to Robo World.
That's a cow. Thing's milking it. So needy. Nice work. Yeah, but it can't put the fries in the bag.
No, because they're already there.
It's so sarcastic.
You know Jarvis from Iron Man? What if I told you we're actually way closer to building it than people realize? To make Jarvis, all you need is an AI system that can do 5 things. First, you have to be able to communicate with it. It needs to hear you clearly and speak back fluidly. But we already have AI tools that can do this really well. 11 Labs and Hume AI are world-class voice models that are already at Jarvis's level. So the listening and talking piece, that's kind of good to go. Second, Jarvis needs to be able to see things and visually understand what's going on. It can't just have ears, it also needs to have eyes. And those eyes wouldn't be through a single humanoid, it would be through a series of cameras all over your space. But again, we already have world action models that are getting pretty good at seeing and understanding. So Jarvis's eyesight capability is also a lot further along than people realize. But the third piece is the biggest one. In order for Jarvis to really work, you need one central AI brain that essentially can hop around freely to different robotics and smart devices throughout your space. It's kind of like seamlessly switching Sonos speakers from room to room, but on steroids. Today, our smart devices are actually pretty dumb. So to have a legit working version of Jarvis, we would need an interconnected system of smart devices that are smart enough to activate as you maneuver around them. So that's the brain and body, still a ways to go. Part 4 and 5 are really what make Jarvis, Jarvis. And that's the customizable personality and the proactive action system. On the personality front, we really just need better memory and emotional expression. But this is also coming, and the progress in memory is obvious in the latest versions of ChatGPT. The proactive action system is having Jarvis assess the situation and be able to take actions without you asking. And this is essentially an AI agent system. And again, companies are starting to lay the rails today for proactive agents. So what Jarvis really does is use eyesight to understand what's going on, proactively take action across an interconnected hardware network, and then communicate what it's doing back to you in a personalized way. Ironically, the biggest problem holding Jarvis back today is not that our AI isn't smart enough. It's that our cameras and robots are too dumb.
For now. But yeah, pretty soon we'll have our AI agent. Alright, and that's it for today's video. If you like those type of video, please give it a like and subscribe and turn on notification, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye bye.